The earth breathes through its forests. Every leaf, every tree, and every drop of rain contributes to a living rhythm that sustains life. Yet today, that breath is growing faint. From the dense Amazon basin in Brazil to the lush jungles of Indonesia, two of the world's most vital ecosystems, the lungs of the earth, are fighting to survive under the weight of human greed, political struggle, and economic ambition. Together, Brazil and Indonesia hold more than one-third of all tropical rainforests on the planet. These forests absorb billions of tons of carbon dioxide, regulate rainfall, and provide homes for millions of species. But in the past few decades, satellite data from NASA and Global Forest Watch have revealed devastating losses. Brazil has lost nearly one-fifth of its rainforest since the 1970s. Indonesia has lost nearly a third of its primary forests, much of it to palm oil, mining, and illegal logging. Every 6 seconds, somewhere on Earth, a football field of forest vanishes. This is not an echo from history. It's a snapshot of the present moment. Yet behind these statistics lies a deeper truth. This is not merely a story of destruction, but of choice. Human choice. The Quran reminds humanity of that sacred trust. It says, "It is He who has appointed you as stewards upon the earth." Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, verse 165. Stewardship is not ownership. It is a responsibility, a divine mandate to preserve balance. When we cut trees faster than they can regrow, we are not only disrupting ecosystems, we are breaking a covenant of care. Forests do not exist for profit alone. They exist to maintain the harmony of creation. As the Quran beautifully says, "And the earth He has spread out for all living beings." Surah Ar-Rahman, chapter 55, verse 10. That phrase, "for all living beings," reminds us that our actions affect more than ourselves. When the forest falls, the rain falters. When the rain falters, crops wither. When crops wither, hunger rises, and hunger fuels conflict. Brazil's Amazon, once a symbol of boundless life, now faces accelerating fires and deforestation linked to cattle ranching and illegal mining. Indonesia's rainforests, home to orangutans and countless endemic species, are shrinking under the pressure of palm oil and timber expansion. Both nations are at a crossroads, yet hope exists. In 2023, Brazil's government began restoring forest protection policies that had been weakened in previous years. Deforestation dropped by nearly 22% that year, according to Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. Indonesia, too, has made progress. Deforestation has declined for 5 consecutive years, a result of moratoriums on new palm oil permits and stronger community-based forest management. Still, the global demand for commodities continues to challenge these efforts. The truth is, what happens in Brazil and Indonesia affects us all. Forests are not isolated. They are part of a planetary system. Scientists from the World Meteorological Organization have found that the moisture generated by the Amazon feeds rainfall as far away as the southern United States and Africa. Meanwhile, Indonesian peatlands store carbon that, if released, could accelerate global warming by decades. The Quran calls this interconnectedness mizan, balance. "And the sky He raised high, and He set the balance, so that you may not transgress the balance." Surah Ar-Rahman, chapter 55, verses 7-8. The destruction of forests is an act of imbalance. When humanity takes without measure, the earth responds with droughts, floods, and fires. But faith also offers guidance toward restoration. The Quran urges reflection, not despair. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd, chapter 13, verse 11. Change begins in hearts, then policies, then systems. Communities around the world are beginning to embody this principle. In the Amazon, indigenous groups are using satellite technology to monitor illegal logging. In Indonesia, local women's cooperatives are leading mangrove restoration. protecting coastlines and creating jobs. Across Africa and Asia, reforestation initiatives are combining modern science with traditional ecological wisdom. Even major corporations, once indifferent to deforestation, are being pressured by public movements and legal reforms to adopt sustainable sourcing. The European Union has passed legislation banning imports linked to deforestation. Public awareness is shifting, and with it, the moral compass of markets. Still, no law can succeed without conviction. Political will, as the article notes, is the beating heart of preservation. Without courage from leaders, laws become paper. Without integrity, policies become promises that fade like mist in morning light. This is where moral and spiritual consciousness must step in. Environmental crises are not merely technical, they are ethical. When the Quran warns, corruption has appeared on land and sea because of what the hands of people have earned. Surah Ar-Rum, chapter 30, verse 41. It is speaking not just of pollution, but of the moral corruption that drives it: greed, neglect, and short-sightedness. To restore the lungs of the earth, we must also restore the heart of humanity. Technology alone cannot heal what conscience has allowed to break. We need a renewal of values, a remembrance that the trees we fell are living verses of creation, each whispering the name of the one who made them. Scientists say that if the Amazon loses another 20% of its cover, it could cross a tipping point, becoming savanna instead of rainforest. That would release 90 billion tons of carbon dioxide, irreversibly altering the global climate. Indonesia's peatlands, if drained or burned, could unleash similar emissions. These are not distant possibilities. They are warnings written in data. And yet, where there are warnings, there is also mercy. The Quran says, "Do they not see that we drive the water to barren land and bring forth crops from it, which they and their livestock eat? Do they not then see?" Surah As-Sajdah, chapter 32, verse 27. The earth can recover if we let it. Nature is resilient when given rest. Faith, knowledge, and action must walk hand in hand. Faith gives purpose. Knowledge gives direction. Action gives life. Each tree planted, each law enforced, each mind awakened to responsibility becomes a small act of worship. The fight for Brazil's and Indonesia's forests is not a regional concern. It is a global moral test. Will we act as guardians or as consumers? As healers or as exploiters? If we lose these forests, we lose more than ecosystems. We lose our shared breath, our balance, and perhaps a part of our soul. But if we protect them, we honor our Creator by protecting His creation. As we reflect on this, let us remember, stewardship is not an option. It is an identity. The earth was never ours to conquer. It was entrusted to us to nurture. If every listener today plants a seed, literal or symbolic, we become part of the healing. The Quran reminds us again, "And do good as Allah has been good to you, and do not seek to cause corruption in the land." Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 77. That is our calling, to be instruments of good, not destruction, to defend life, not diminish it. And so, as the forests of Brazil and Indonesia stand at a crossroads, so too do we. The battle for the lungs of the earth is also a battle for our own humanity. If this message speaks to you, help it breathe farther. Share this story. Let others know that faith, science, and reason all point to one truth. Protecting the earth is protecting ourselves. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to Quran X Insight, where reflection meets revelation, and every story becomes a reminder of the sacred trust we hold.